Allow me to go across to Gurudas Dasgupta, senior leader of the left front. We heard, sir, in the beginning from one of the other members of this left front, the RSP, Abani Roy, is with us on this broadcast also. He says that there is, this is only the CPI, the CPM, this is not the full left front. We've also seen the past disasters. How can we ever expect all these different leaders to work together, Dada?
हम जा रहे हैं बोलो.
Mr. Gurudas Dasgupta, can you hear me, sir? Sir, do you hear me?
I think he's on strike.
हम जा रहे हैं.
Okay, Veer Sanghvi says he's on strike. I don't think we can get through. Let's not unnecessarily be unfair. The reality is this third front doesn't seem to be coming together. And Jai Panda, respond to what Veer Sanghvi says. This front hasn't worked in the past. Each time we've seen from within this alternate front, the Prime Minister of that time being knifed by alternate competing ambitions. Why should people watching this broadcast believe that it might work this time? Jai Panda.
Well, I have, I must remind you that Veer earlier said that the difference between a BJP or a Congress-led coalition is that one party will have a lot of seats. Well, we have seen that today. One party has had a lot of seats for the last 10 years, and that has not helped because it still requires management of a coalition, whether one party has 200 seats or the largest party has only 40 or 50 seats. The second point is that people do learn from history, and you must remember that stability is sometimes overrated. And even when you have had stability, you've not had good results. And it's not as if the BJP's nomination of a prime ministerial candidate was without its own problems. It was quite controversial for a while. So these are all the arguments that have been made about possible alternatives to a Congress or a BJP-led government are almost equally applicable to the other side.
So allow me to now go across to Gurudas Dasgupta. I'm told that he can hear us now.
Too much condescension.
Dada, if you can hear me, we just heard from Abani Roy of the RSP saying that this is the CPI and the CPM's front. The entire left front is not together. We've had a lot of people deride this so-called alternate front, saying that the left is getting carried away. There is no common minimum program. 100 days are to go. How can all of you with different competing interests ever come together and work together, Dada? Mr. Dasgupta. Okay, I was told that he can hear us, but clearly that is not the case. There is a real problem. Derek O'Brien wants to come in. Again, he hasn't even spoken and you want to deny him the chance to speak as well, Derek. Mamta is really, I can sense the fact.
Listen, Rahul.
Yes.
Listen, Rahul, it is not about Mamta Banerjee or Derek O'Brien or anybody. The people have denied the voice to the left, and today the irony is even the technology is denying them the voice. But on a serious note, let us be very practical. The numbers which come to Delhi in May, based on the performance of the chief ministers in those states, is going to be the key in government formation. So that is the reality. Last 15 years have been ruled by coalition. There's no reason to believe the next 15 years will be ruled by coalition. And I take what Veer says, the track record was bad in the past. Two things, in most of those coalitions there was a left there, this time there will be no left, thankfully. And I think India has matured and now we're ready for this.
Abani Roy, you must respond to Derek O'Brien. Every interjection has been an attempt to get the left front off this alternate front and park Mamta Banerjee in there. How do you respond, Mr. Abani Roy?
They were having a coordination meeting. Let
Abani Roy respond.
Okay. Alternate front is required. But so far the concern of third front, you have to realize the fact that even the third front comes with a figure of 200, they need 70 support. And then someone from the back have to support the third front. So what we are saying, non-Congress, non-BJP government, it is very difficult to form a non-Congress, non-BJP front government at the center without their help. So third front means it is not a front, it is a front against BJP and Congress, but needs the support of the Congress.
But the one real threat that is emerging for Modi, and I want Nirmala Sitharaman to answer that question, is that there is a possibility that all these disparate parties could be propped up by the Congress, as has been the case in the past as well, to keep Modi out of power. Now, they can't come together by themselves, but if the Congress were to back them, then they become a far more formidable opposition than they would be otherwise.
Well, if that is the case, it's a negative politics that the Congress is playing, which is apparent also the way in which they have propped up the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi for having called them chore. They shouldn't be sitting in company of the Aam Aadmi Party at all. But I don't think the Congress today has credibility even with the regional parties, that they are going to depend on them to prop up a government of the third front. If anything, they would have to show their own strength, or else in their respective regions where they have got a very strong presence, they should prove their strength.
Sunil Alak wants to make a quick final comment.
But backing or depending on Congress is not going to help anybody, because credibility of Congress today is so much, damaged, that I don't think any party will
20
benefit.
seconds, Sunil.
On the contrary, they will lose, aligning with the Congress.
Look, all this is a theoretical discussion, because I think, all this will happen only if BJP gets 150 seats and less. We all know that if Mr. Modi, the way they are planning it, if they get 200 plus, all this becomes a theoretical discussion altogether, and I'm reasonably confident that BJP will get 200 at least, if
okay,
not
Derek
more.
O'Brien wants to respond to that.
Already, Derek O'Brien has said no to CPM.
Okay, quickly, we're out of time.
Mamta has said no to CPM. I mean, everybody is saying no to each other, then how are they going to form it?
Okay, Gaurav Bhatia next. Gaurav Bhatia, 20 seconds.
Will not be part of this.
Yeah, I just want to say that actually the Congress and the BJP are quite scared of this idea, because they know that this idea is gaining ground, and people also want a federal front. Once there are regional forces who have in the past worked with UPA that has been dictatorial and NDA, why can't they come together?
No, it might be gaining ground.
I think it would be far better.
It might be gaining ground in Mulayam's heart, but is it gaining ground on the ground where it really matters? That's the question. Derek O'Brien, 20 seconds.
Rahul, 20 seconds, Rahul. Now the BJP has two spokespersons on the program today. Nirmala is one, now Sunil has also become their spokesperson. But never mind. I said
we are not getting provoked, Derek. Please go ahead.
I'm giving you the theory about this so-called federal front of today, aligning with the Congress will get enough MPs to fill a 3-tier railway compartment.
How many MPs fit into a 3-tier railway?
72.
This is a quiz question.
This is
72.
72. Derek O'Brien, the quiz master.
Am I right?
Bowling a good okay. Pawan Verma insists he must be given 20 seconds as well. Quickly,
Modi
Pawan.
is very concerned. Mr. Modi is very concerned, because even the concept of allies, like he thought, and I can name them, the AIDMK, the Assam Gana Parishad, Mr. Marandi, they find that they are losing even the allies they thought they
No,
were.
but that's an important point, and we must conclude there. Modi thought that Jayalalitha would come over. She hasn't. He thought that Babulal Marandi might come over. That's not happened.
Sure.
There is a message there. Do you think that might change post-election?
Yeah, I mean, these are just positions they're taking before, but we've talked a lot about history, and we are talking now about the Congress supporting these guys to keep Modi out. Let me take you back to 1996, when exactly the same argument was used. The Congress supported the third front to keep Vajpayee out. What happened? Vajpayee, the 13-day government, nobody supported him, it collapsed. They've supported two third front governments. Third front governments collapsed. Vajpayee came back with a much bigger volume of MPs in parliament. If they do that to Modi, it'll be suicidal for the Congress. It's exactly what Modi wants.
But very quickly, it's interesting, and I'm not talking with sense of condescension, but it's interesting, given the state of affairs in Bihar, Pavan Verma has more time for Modi than for their strategy in Bihar. I
You're
think they
starting
should
another
focus.
debate.
They
We have
should
to have
focus
both
on that.
you and Pavan Verma back on
They should
center
focus on
stage
that.
for that. But we've seen the third front in its various colors play itself out. You know, that's why we had more guests than we usually have on center stage, because there are different voices and all those voices must be heard because no one speaks for the other. Each speaks only for himself. Derek O'Brien, Jay Panda, Gaurav Bhatia, Abani Roy, Pavan Verma, Sunil Alag, Nirmala Sitharaman and Veer Sanghvi. Thank you very much for joining us on center stage tonight.